Peace and love, folks. Welcome, welcome, welcome to A Rude Awakening. I'm Montague, as you know. I just want to thank everybody who's been rocking with me thus far. We're about to go into another season, y'all. We're about to go into Gemini season. And I have some big expectations for this season that I'll get into in some later videos. But one is just the fact that Uranus just went into Gemini, ushering in sort of like a new era. And now the sun's about to be in there, bringing our full attention to this new energy exploding through Gemini, which is our breath, which is our lungs, which is our communities, which is, our brothers and sisters and very close family, which shows up in our communication. Like, this energy is about to be wild. And so we're just going to go through and look at a couple cards and see what pops up today. I'm just going to pull one card for each particular spot and just give us a little bit of insight into what elements, what planetary energies and things we should be looking at as we go into this new era, this new sort of season of newness. All right, so here we go. First card is the Fool. All right, so this card is just saying that for some of us, things have already been reset. The Fool is a reset card. Okay, and look what we're dealing with. Uranus is the resetter, baby. It blows things up, so things can be reset. So for some of us, our chapters are renewed in Gemini, okay, with this new season. Because Uranus moves really slow. So a Uranus season is a big deal, all right? And for the next, I believe, 7 years, we're going to be dealing with Uranus and Gemini, all right? So this is the card in regards to our relationships. Prince of Fire. Okay, so when we have this Prince of Fire, what are we talking about? We're talking about being aware of your passion, right? Supporting each other's fire. The thing that gets the other person inspired, be in there, adding fuel to it. Add fuel to it. And also give them invitations to add fuels to yours. For some of us, we're already really good at that. For others, not so much. I'm going to actually pick another card, too, for that same spot. Okay, which is the Hermit. All right, so with the Hermit card, what do we have? We're putting it in that same spot. So that fire is internal, right? So we want to really inspire each other for the fire to stay within us, brightly burning. All right, so don't put out your partner's fire. If they get excited over shoes, just be like, oh, that's nice, whatever you can do to keep that fire going is really important right now, to keep the fire going. All right, the next card is Guru Tree. All right, this card pops up in regards to the thing you're most passionate about right now. Guru Tree talks about allowing something to kind of control you and bend you in a way that's more in alignment with source. Okay, and it's not always the most comfortable. So there's some projects you're working on, there's some things that you're moving into that require you to be warped a little bit. It's going to feel off balance, but it's actually more balancing. All right, so we're talking about that these gurus, these people that we put in charge of ourselves to see where we should be, are ultimately going to break us and bend us in ways that actually make us happier in the long run and get our creative projects out. All right, so be open to being changed. It doesn't have to be a guru. It could be your partner. It could be a friend that wants to take the lead in some way, or that has advice that just makes you feel like, I don't know. But you want to stay the course even though you're going to feel like this. All right. I know that's pretty wild, but that's what it is. All right. As far as your job situation, we got the sun. So at work, stay consistent. The sun is always all about consistency. The sun is about truth, exactness, measurable results. So stay in tune with the sun. Stay in tune with that energy that's ultimately going to give birth to the seeds that you want to see at your job. Okay? So show up regularly. If you work for yourself, make sure you've blocked out your time, that you're holding to those blocks. Also know that there might be a new revelation coming around your work that you didn't know before. All right. Judgment is showing up as the biggest thing to watch out for right now. So don't judge yourself. Don't judge others right now. Just be in the flow. You don't want to be a tyrant right now. It's not a good time to be yelling at people, and doing all this, which makes a lot of sense because if you have Uranus in Gemini, that means that speaking is very, what's the word? It's almost like we're walking in a landmine a little bit. So you really want to watch your anger, watch your heat, watch your judgment. Watch out for your inner disgust. Like there's a part of you that gets disgusted by certain things, and that's going to trigger a blowout if you're not careful, all right? Next card is Justice. And this card is in regards to our families. All right. So just make sure you're being fair with family, that you are being clear with family, and that you're being loving with family, right? So, and watch your thoughts in regards to your family right now. But they need there's some areas where some people might need mediation, or there's areas where some people need to be talked to and about like decisions they're making. It's important for you to help people weigh choices right now. So don't be surprised if people come after you today or tomorrow or within this season looking for guidance. All right. We have a Princess of Air here for the meditation card. This card's telling you to kind of be in your happy place right now. Kind of just float and let that flow guide you to the places where you want to have the challenge, right? It's also talking about knowing when to take it easy, but taking it easy in ways that invigorate your spirit, as opposed to your body is important. So if you're too much into eating heavy right now, or you're too much into, drinking sweet things or drinking alcoholic things, or, if you're too much into just doom scrolling on your phone, or if anything's just bogged you down, it's just saying find those things that kind of release you and take you up, things that bring most ease. It shouldn't be something. This isn't about like working harder to be inspirational. It's about moving inner blockages out the way so that you can carry that energy up. So whether you're using meditation or chanting, I'm really a big fan of Arabic, chanting. I'm a fan of libation. I'm a fan of prayer. I'm a fan of fasting, could even help. Whatever you can do to keep your spiritual energy light is really good in this season. All right. Now, on our future card, we got this Fatima card, this Princess of Water. And that talks about also the sweet things, right? And the sweet things dancing around this lunar energy. All right. So we have some sweet things in the home coming up. So really relish home, pour life at home, pour life into your home space. Don't be too hard on the people at your home. Be someone who's very reflective and not super like reactive, and be a good listener. Listen to the people and be playful at home. This card is talking about also just kind of being, when you're at home, being aware and also looking at the home as a being as well altogether, and talk to your home. Don't just talk to your husband or your kids, but talk to the house, and then talk to the house within and see if they're matching, what is missing. in that space. All right. The moon's all about mysteries too. So there also might be some really big spiritual breakthroughs coming for people in the near future. And boom, for our overall card, we got the moon again. Look at that, the Chariot. All right. And this card's big because the Chariot's talking about overcoming. It's about overcoming emotional blockages, right? Emotional buffers that keep you from being able to really investigate certain emotions. Matter of fact, I wrote up some stuff on this stuff. I'm gonna do another video where we're kind of going deeper into how this works, how this inner sort of criticism and these inner buffers sometimes keep us from the true breakthroughs that we need emotionally, that keep us from really being able to see ourselves as we really are. You know, we push away the things that make us feel most uncomfortable. We judge certain things and say, I'm not that. And what does that do? That ushers a response where oftentimes we disappear because it's too painful to look at. And then a representative comes in and shows up and just reacts and reacts and reacts until we don't have to deal with the thing anymore, until the distraction comes and we can kind of come back and say, oh, whew, I didn't have to deal with that thing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I know that's complex, but I'm going to do a talk on that at some point and pull people into self-observation a little bit, because that's some stuff I've been on right now and I really like talking about it. But lots to come in Gemini. This is the season of communication, and I plan to do a lot more communication during this period. Once again, thanks to all the people that are still here. More to come. Even card classes are going to be coming for people that want to learn the Afro the Afro Fantasy Walking Tree Oracle. And all these signs and symbols. You know, we got our zodiac sign, you know, our planetary sign, and our realm. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the realms, you know, and how to use the realms as diagnostic tools, because there was so much I wasn't able to put into the book. Anyway, I've been rambling for a little too long now. I'm just so happy to still be here after all these years, and I'm signing off. I'll talk to you soon.